Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Saxlingham. We are working our new field, Field 17. We have purchased the soil samples. We have limed the field. That took quite a lot of lime. And we are now painstakingly ploughing. You'll notice in the background we have the Gulls, the field Gulls. And I love it. I started this ploughing, liming and ploughing yesterday, and it's the first time that I have used the Gulls mod in anger. Just because of where I am with saves, really. And I love it. It's just that nice bit of realism, immersion, and yeah, I think it's fantastic. The way we're doing the field is we're sort of skipping, as you'll see, skipping 2 or 3 passes, and they sort of flit in between, you know. It's brilliant. I love the fact as well that you can knock down the volume if you feel that they're a bit loud, and that flexibility is just... Look, see, they're now coming across to where we're working here as well, but there's still some over to the bit where we've just been. I love it. I just really like it. So the plan is going to be, we need to get the ploughing done, and then we will possibly, the way this is going, end up going into January 2, at which point we'll need to do all the feeding, etc, and then we'll run the we might then slurry and then cultivate, potentially, just because that seems the most sort of, for me, the logical step. You know, we'll slurry it and then we'll work that slurry in via the cultivating process. So that's the plan. So I'll crack on, and I'll probably catch up with you back on the headlands, I think. So I'll see you in a little minute. Well, as expected, this has taken a rather long time. We are on the second to last headland, the penultimate headland, and then we're going to need to rest, and probably, if we take a quick look, oh no, sheep are alright, chickens are okay, cows are okay for now, yeah, that's fine. And I think I worked out what happened. For some reason, this had not updated that it was empty. I thought there was plenty of hay there, but clearly not. So that's why we got our penalty, I think, in the previous episode. Yeah, it makes sense. I think I came out the game, loaded in the Gulls, and they're still there, I think. They're still there? Yes, they're still there. I haven't got my headphones on at the moment. And, what was I say? Yes, it had updated as to be empty, so... Yeah, not quite sure what happened, but whatever. Whatever, he says. Right. So, I think what we're going to need to do is we can probably... Yeah, we can head down this route here. And we'll get it done. Like I say, next job will be to put some slurry down. Get that on. Hit that, there we go. Get some slurry down, and then we're into cultivating. Yeah. How much I'll show, I don't know. I'd quite like to get through to the point of actually drilling the grass, which is going to be a chore, but it's a Friday afternoon, so it would mean that I can actually spend the time to do it and have the prep done then for... when I say prep, bit of field prep, keeping animals alive, etc, etc, and I'll have the time, hopefully, fingers crossed, don't want to jinx it, to do that. So yeah, it might be a bit of a jump until sort of late Feb, early March, but we will go from there and we shall see. So, I should finish this up. I shall also put my teeth back in. And, yeah, I'll see you in a month or so when we are either finishing off the field prep, like the cultivation and stuff, or we're about to start drilling. Well, we are not cultivating, we are not slurrying, but I thought I would bring you along. Just for the feeding, because we haven't done that for a while. I've done a lot of it off camera. But yeah, I mean, everybody needs an amount of food, apart from the new Highlands. They're probably all right. What I have done is I couldn't work out, and I've been a bit dim, why we'd only got I thought we were using fenceless pastures on the OG sheep pen in Field 4, but we weren't. We were using a Giants one, weren't we? So I thought, I wonder if I can change it. And I have. Just went into the base game files, so every time I put one down now, it'll be 5,000 litres of water and 20,000 litres of food. Why you would only have 3,000 litres, I don't know, because, all right, you suppose you're going to rely on meadow, but the fact that you can make the hens any size that you want, 3,000 litres of food is not going to go very far, even with base game feeding, if you've got enough animals. So, yeah, we've done that. So that's going to help out a little bit. Probably a little bit cheaty, but I'm not overly fussed, if I'm honest. It's about making my life easier. We need to muck out at some point. Right, let's do a slurry check while I remember. Slurry check. 50-ish% there and loads there. That's fine. Good. Right. So, starts the engine. There we go. Right. So, yeah. As per, we sugar beet cut it first. And then we do our hay and we does our silage from the conveyor belt. We'll need to run some hay to probably both beet pens, so we might just we might do it with the telehandler. To be fair, it might be a bit easier. Sugar beet cut, yes. And we get out of there, and we get ourselves back into the John Deere. Now, the other thing I've thought, and I've not actually looked yet, is that I'm wondering whether we can get one of those attachments that cultivates and slurries at the same time. Because I know they exist, and it would make life a touch easier. So we only get to 2 at a time, just in case things start to go sideways with the rain. Let's get this spun around a little bit. Yeah, I mean, feeding and fertilising and field work. Oh, I haven't done that for a while. And this save is rather, what would the word be? Animal heavy, I guess you'd say. Oh, don't, no. Sticky fork. Come on. Come on. There we go. Look. Jobs are good. Right. So back round to the conveyor. This is a lifesaver, this is. Absolute lifesaver. So much easier than it would be to have to bucket it out and everything. So all we have to do is reposition it every now and again. There we go. Leave that running. So I haven't looked at any messages that we've got. I think everything else is all in hand. There's no contract yet, is there? Oh, let's have a look. See if there's any schemes. Road snow clearing. Now, I did do one of these through, I think it was November, early December. To buy the salt, which is not expensive, and we were rather flush for cash. Drove some of the local roads. I think I got paid about 20 quid. Didn't speed. as it said, keep below 13 miles an hour. Did as I was told. And yeah, so not quite sure. It was probably me, to be fair. Like with the feed in the sheep pasture running out, and it not resetting or refreshing, should I say. That was my misinterpretation as well. But yeah, so I don't know if we'll bother with that. It would be interesting to see what other ones pop up though throughout the year. What else was I going to talk to you about? Oh, there we go. The previous video I said things are mad and whatnot, and they are, and not directly related, because what I'm going to talk to you about is trivial in comparison. But it's regarding my sleeping. I'm going to talk about this. So middle of last year, I want to say, so that'll be 2025. Mrs. Cartek said to me, "You do know that you're stopping sleeping, don't stopping breathing while you're sleeping." I was like, "No." And she says, "Yeah." She says, "Your legs are kicking and going and your head's shaking side to side and all this lot." So I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then, whether it's because she brought it to my attention, I don't know. What is that? Oh, it's gone now. I started to notice it, and my legs were sort of kicking, and I could feel my head sort of rubbing side to side. Sorry, cows. So she said to me, "You need to go to the doctors." Okay. And I listened. We'll leave the gate open for a moment. We're not going to be long. So I went to see my GP, and he did a questionnaire. Says I'm going to recommend you for a sleep study. Fine, okay. No, in fact, I tell a lie. It was December of 24. Oh no, December of 24. That was it. And okay, I was like, fine, okay, yeah, whatever. So put the recommendation in. These things take a while. I think it was the June, and it was one of the hottest days of the year. So I get my appointment. Please come and pick up your machine. So there was me, wired up, sort of stuff on my chest, stuff on up my nose, and did this thing, dropped the machine off the next day so they can get the data off it, and sort of thought nothing more about it. So then probably, I can't remember the exact timings now, so you'll have to forgive me. Probably near enough. Where are we now? Middle of last year, so July-ish time, August time, I want to say, something like that. I get another appointment. So please come in. We're going to fit you with the CPAP machine. Oh, okay, fair enough. Must warrant one then. Oh boy, did I warrant one. So they score you. This is the first time I've got a high score for anything in my life. And basically, and I'll probably get this wrong, the sort of description. They say that an acceptable level, and I chuckle because it's not funny, it's serious. An acceptable level, come on, to stop breathing effectively is 5 times an hour. Well, that sounds a lot in itself, doesn't it? Yeah. Try 78. So that's the machine picking up that 78 times an hour I was stopping breathing. So that's classed as severe sleep apnea. which is a bit of a, ooh, bugger. So after that was always explained, then they show you the machine that you're going to get, and I was thinking, oh, it's going to be one of these, I don't know, you have this sort of stereotypical noisy machine, you know, sort of not like an iron lung, but that sort of pumping and whirring and air blowing. This thing is so clever. So you pop your mask on, we'll come to the masks in a minute, because that's a whole other story. And then basically you turn it on, put your mask on, connect it all up, turn it on, and it blows air in, funnily enough. But it's clever in the sense that it detects when you fall asleep. So it starts off at a very low pressure, and then it ramps up as it needs to keep your airway open, because that's what sleep apnea is. It's the closing of the airway. Now, it can be a lot of some. I'm not an expert. Sometimes it's a lot down to collar size. So losing a bit of weight has helped, but I think this is one of those things that I'll be on this machine for a while. So let's come to the masks. Ugh. So try this mask on. Basically, I'm sat in a hospital consultation room and try this mask on. Does that feel alright? Yeah, okay. And it was quite a hard plastic frame structure with a softer bit that seals around your nose and your mouth. There's different types, but I had one that goes under your nose, sits right under where your nostrils are, making the noise, and covers your mouth. And you get it to seal, and job is a good one. So first night I used it, I think I did like 6-7 hours. I'm not going to do it. 6-7 hours with it. I thought, wow, Brill, got this nailed. And then it just went downhill. It became more and more uncomfortable, to the point where it was really actually starting to hurt the side of my face. Because if you imagine, you've got this plastic structure, so when you lie on your side, it's digging in the side of your face. So don't get me wrong, it's very good. They give you a contact number, you can ring, you leave a message, and they'll call you back, you know, same sort of day. I think it's mainly designed if something breaks on your machine and you need to get a replacement bit, or if you want to, basically I just wanted advice. The advice was, you know, you've got to stick with it, your body will adjust and get used to it and all this lot, but I just could not get on with it at all. So you have regular-ish consultations. I think I had a phone call one in January of this year. And basically I just explained that I'm really struggling with it. They can see all of the data. It connects to my Wi-Fi and it sends them all the information, so they can see how much or how little I've been using it, all the different settings, etc. Do we need water in there? No. And they can see the readings, which is good, because you haven't got to then take everything in every time and all that lot. So they said, fine, we'll set you up a face-to-face appointment, because all this was done over the phone, and we'll try some different masks. Superb. Now, obviously, the first time round, I thought, oh, yeah, that fits brilliant. But sitting in the chair in a hospital consultation room is very much different to trying to get to sleep of a night, as I'm sure you can understand. So, yeah, I went in, where are we now? Oh, I can't remember what it was now. February sometime? Yeah, Feb time. Had a cool sit-down chat with the bloke, went through everything, how I was feeling about it all. Not like feelings, but like I was annoyed that I couldn't wear it more, but I really it was sort of very painful. I tried some different masks, found one that was more less plastic, slightly different attachment method to one's head, slightly less bulky, And to touch wood, I am using it. Where's my attach button? I am using it a lot more. I'm not up to where I'd like to be, i.e. 6, 7, 8 hours a night. Well, if I get that much sleep anyway, that's a blooming miracle, but that's just me. But I've been consistently doing between 3 and 4, and between 3, I would say 3 and 4.5 hours. I'm well chuffed, and it's everyone's going, "Oh, just lose weight, it'll be fine." It's not just that. I've snored for donkey's years, and yeah, it's worth. If you do struggle, go and get checked, because the not comorbidity or morbidities, is it something like that? But you're at risk of high risk of stroke, heart stuffs, and all that lot, because your body is under strain. And I think it's more brain stuff, because obviously you're holding your breath, or you're not breathing, the oxygen's not getting in and around. So yeah, my advice is, if you are struggling, go and see somebody about it, because it's worth it in the long run. And it's about persistency, and persistence, being persistent and consistent, all the constants. But yeah, and I'm miles off still, but it's getting a lot better than it was. Oh, power slide. Right, I have rambled on for nearly 60 minutes about that, but yeah, just an update from me, where I am, how I'm doing with it, and just to share it, really. Explains why I'm tired sometimes, because if it wakes up, it's like having your head out the car and going down the motorway, because it's blowing away like a good one. But it's doing its job, and that is the main thing. Right, now I am going to what am I going to do? I'm going to feed this to one of the other cow pastures, probably the one with the most highlands in. And then we will make sure the sheeps and the goats are adequately fed. And we'll have a look. I don't think we can really work a field in this, can we? So yeah. Need like flamethrowers on the bottom of the tractor to melt the snow. But that's another thing. So I'm going to get that done, get everybody fed, and we will probably end up just rocking our way through to when it's not so cold out. So we're into Feb, and I've been doing a little bit of the cultivating slurry application, but we'll get to that in a bit, because it's actually Vredo pack release day today. So I'm going to sort of do a bit and then leave a bit, and then hopefully we'll time it right so that we can actually use that kit. But just thought I'd show you. So here is the hand planting sort of setup, and behind us here is one of the hand planted saplings that we put in. That's not the main thing I wanted to show you, but what have we done is we've installed a little production. Now, I was looking, and what can I be doing? And you can see where I've put the other saplings in. Look, actually, you can see sort of over here where my cursor is, here. Just dotted them around a bit to fill in some of the gaps. Now, if we spin round, you'll see this bad boy. Now, what this is, and I like this, because this is sort of takes one step out of the process. And I'm all for that. So let's get off this and have a look. So this is a greenhouse. The greenhouse with canned package or something. I don't know. What's it called? With canned production, canned packaging, packaged foods production. There you go. That's a mouthful. So basically, you grow what you want, and then you distribute it to here. So, let's have a look in here. So, this is the sort of the packing facility. I love it. And this is the greenhouse bit. How cool is that? Just runs off water, which is rather good. So, we've got beetroot running and garlic, and then we are going to package that into preserved beetroot. Make sense? Super. So, yeah, you can see all the sort of the offcuts. I like it. And it's just that sort of, you know, close the door. You can close, there we go. I don't think we've actually got anything yet. Let's close that. Yeah, it just runs off water. Leave it to tick over. The only weird thing is this icon doesn't clear off when you've got icons turned off, but whatevs. So that's that. Running away, look, job's a good one. And that is very much the sort of production that I like. We can just set it to grow something, and job's a good one. It gets packaged, and then we can flog it. So, you'll notice as well that we've had a bit of an outfit change. The overalls that we were wearing were getting rather smelly. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of stop there, and then hopefully, time dependent, as per normal, we will have the Vredo pack, and we can swap out our current injector for the new ones, and you have a bit of relevant content for a change. Well, ladies and gentlemen, the time has come, and for once, the timing has actually worked out pretty blooming good. So, I am on annual leave this afternoon, and it is now 25 minutes past 1 on the 24th of March. So 25 whole minutes ago, the Vredo pack launched itself into existence. What? I don't know where I've gone with that. So we have been up to the store, inquired, you might say, about the possibility of swapping machines. So I have repaired the truck element, the tanker element, and the cultivatory slurry majigger on the back. We've refueled it, and it is good to go. Now, I'm hoping that in a mere 20 seconds or so, we should see, here it is, we should see appearing our new toy. Look at that. Oh, isn't it just splendid? Anywhere there, driver. Thank you. That's it. That is as much roleplay as you will get from me. So we have gone for the, funny enough, the 22,000 litre capacity, the Vredo, the VT5536. I mean, they said X then. With the Evers Agro Toric 48672 on the back, because we want the cultivating element. Now, we could go a lot bigger with the injectors, but for what we're doing, we're going to keep it with the cultivatory bit attached to the back. Now, we might in the future request just the slurry arms. We'll have to see. So, let's get this unloaded. We're going to get this one off. We're going to put that one on, and then we will say ta-ra to that and thank you, because you've been very helpful. And yes, job is a good one. So what we need to do is start the engine. We need to turn the straps off and disconnect that, the old beaver tail. Now, because we're at a bit of an angle, we should be good to just go like that. There we go. It's a fine specimen, whatever, of a machine. Look at that. Come on. There we go. Right, so what we can do is drive to our slurry buy point. There we go. We will hit that. We'll leave that running, and we'll go and... Whoops. get into other machine, send that off, and that will go for a resale somewhere. Who knows where? There we go. I've enjoyed using this bit of kit, and it's just, for once, like I say, it's worked out rather nicely timed. Now, we do have the complete pack, obviously, because you can't load in half a DLC. What I'm trying to say is we do now have the potential that boars will come and destroy our hard work with the crops. Come on, back up just a little bit more. There we go. Ooh, there we go. Perfect. Super. So, now from what I gather, there are these sort of wildlife feeding things that you can put down that will distract the boars in sort of. Can you tell I've watched very little on what this DLC contains? Well, not necessarily what it contains, but how the sort of boards and stuff work. So we shall get this gone. I think we're probably going to need to go the long way round, because I don't think we'll make that turn. And then what we'll do is we might read the instructions. One is assuming that old giants have updated the help menu and put in a little bit of text about what we do to prevent the bulls. Oh, the boars, not the bulls. Look, they're there. Oh, how quick was that? Come on, skedaddle. Get out here. Come on. They are so cool. Gun mod, anybody? Oh, there goes the monetization for this video. But I think we're probably far enough in that YouTube does not care. So, we need... Do we have a waypoint for the shop? The dealership. Go. Ta-ra. Thanks for being a great slurry tanker thing. Ah, sad days, sad days. Right, so I'm going to read the instructions. We'll hop into the Vredo and we'll go from there. Right then, I always find it helps if you press record when doing these sort of things. So, what I was saying was we have placed down this for... It was 500 quid. There is another one that is a little bit bigger. But, yeah, that... I don't know why it can't be placed here. Whether there's a certain range. Maybe. If we come over here. How far away? So you need to be a relative distance away from the other one. Which is fair enough. Okay, fine. So, anyway. It comes... I'm saying it comes pre-filled with 6,000 litres of hay. Which looks suspiciously... I suppose there is a slight green tinge to it. Probably like hay should actually look like. Funny that. Pre-filled. So, yeah. Don't know. I mean, we've got... Unless they just haven't had time to do the damage yet. Because if I just show you... Vredo back. Vredo. Vredo? E? Or is it an E? I don't know. Wildlife crop damage on. Yes. Wildlife animals can cause damage on your crops. Yes, that's on. Grassland care. Yes, that's on as well. So, from the couple of minutes that I watched of the giant stream the other night, is that them over there? Yes. It is. So, are they now going to... They shouldn't be damaging crops, should they? I don't know. See, this is half my point. Why not have like a bit more... what's the word? Information about stuff? I don't know. Do we need to put them every, 300 meters or whatever? I don't know. I know, but I don't know. Anyway, The grassland stuff, because that requires equipment, and that's quite cool. So every few, I want to say, was it 9 harvests? Can't remember. You start to effectively damage the ground. It doesn't grow back as well, so then you have to overseed, which is going to be cool to do. So, all of that said, we're going to leave them going. If they start damaging stuff, then I will be having a word with the forester, because he is not doing his job. Yeah, it's stuff like that that really... Because it's not intuitive. Unless I'm being completely thick, it's not intuitive. You know, if you said, right, even just needs to be a simple bit of text, you need to place one every so many, every time it allows you, even, let's just call it that rather than say a distance. And then you'd know. Let's get rid of that. Mercedes-Benz. Is that stuck somewhere? So we'll go and fix that in a bit. But yeah, there's nothing. Even if you just said, like, right, if you've got one down, they won't damage the fields. Because if you've got really big fields, then I don't know. Are they causing damage? I'm going to get obsessed by this because, well, why wouldn't you? Can't see anything yet, but it's not so that it won't happen. Don't know. Yeah, well, no, that's just a thunderbug. Right, let's go to the field and let's fill in where we have not been with our previous slurry injectory cultivatory thing. But they are cool. You know, it's an interesting one. It's something different. Like I say, I just wish there was a bit more information about it. I'm sure with time there will be videos on it, on the kit. Should we put a beacon on? Why not? What's a horn sound like? Not a bad horn. Not doesn't sound like noddy. It's just been one of those mornings, it really has. Right, where did we get to? Let's unfold you. Oh, we're unfolding the pipe as well. Can we actually see out? Wait, oh. Now, can I? Oh, I can with my joystick. Oh, my word. I love it. I love it, I do. So, you will see we've done every other pass-ish. And then, I mean, surely they can't damage a field that isn't planted. Anyway, stop getting obsessed by it. Right, so, let's find where we got to. I think it's probably down here. It's alright driving over the headlands. Where did we get to? I think here. Yes. Right, so what direction do we want to be going? 360. Let's do that. No, let's do control. No. Oh, I can never remember the controls. Control Shift 1. No. Aha! There we go. Let's pop that on. Control Shift 1. Why is that not working? Control Shift and aha! There we go. Control Shift 3. Right. Power on. Lower down. And go. Oh, is she working? Oh, look at me. My pipe seems a little bit out. Let's pop that in. There we go. We don't want our pipe sticking out, do we? I like this a lot. And like I say, I'm chuffed that it's fell the way it has. Alright, we're getting a slightly different texture, but I think that's because we're having we've got the rolling basket on it as well, rather than just a cultivator. But this is cool. Right, what else is cool is we can go cruise control on. We can go, right, let's have a drink of water and a coffee. Coffee, there we go. We will have a small meal. Job is a good one. There we go. How's that looking? Okay, different. So we're getting a seat. Excuse me, my dinner is repeating. That's really nice for you to know, isn't it? Yeah, I'm here all week, honestly. Right, there we go. Lift up. That is epic. I really, really like this kit. No, don't move me pipe out. There we go. This is probably going to end up being another long-ish video. Right, put that on. That. Why is that not working? I think I probably need to remap that then. I've got a keybind that I use. Right. No. I say I've got a keybind that I use for VCA. And one assumes that that has now cleared off. So let's do that again. Let's put the old lines on a second. Why is that like that? Oh, you know why? I think it's because the previous one was 6. Was it 6 meters? The previous one? I don't know. But anyway, right. Let's lower that down, and we'll just drive it. We are capable enough of just driving, he says, in a straight line. Right, I'm going to crack on. I'm going to do a bit more, well, a fair bit more to be honest. And yeah, we'll catch back up in a little while. We will see if there's any damage occurred. I don't know how long it takes either. But we'll go from there, yeah. Quite liking this new addition to our farm, kind of. We'll still pay for it like we were before. But yeah, I like it. Now, after a bit of not even messing around really, getting my brain engaged, well, start that bit again. I'm not sure on why my keyboard's not working with VCA. Don't know. I've now reprogrammed and used the base game GPS to the working width that we were using before. Therefore, we're good. We are now cracking on up and down the middle bits where we left off before and filling in the gaps, so to speak. Now, this video is probably well over 40 minutes already, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it here. We've done a power work, we're getting through the months. Next time I see you, I'm aiming to be in March. Now, I know that sounds like, well, that's two days, 2 in-game days. I know. There's a lot of things that go into that. I want to get this field done. I will need to, obviously, make sure all the animals are fed, etc, etc, etc. So, yeah, that's my plan. Try and get through to March, and then we can put grass into field 17 that we're doing, that we're slurrying and cultivating now. So that way that's done. I'll need a roll. Other than that, we're good. So yeah, thank you for watching. Some interesting new mods in this one. We've got the Gulls, we've got the Vredo pack, which includes the boars and stuff. So we'll see how we get on with that. I may have been hating a bit on Giants earlier, don't know. Doesn't hurt to put a help menu in my opinion. So we'll leave it there. Thank you all very, very much for watching. Massive shout out to the YouTube channel members and the Patreons. You're all fantastic. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Take care.